use the plot for the number of push-ups students in each class did. So here we have two Box-and-Whisker plots, one for class A and one for class B. This is which class has the greater range and by how much. So let's first find the range for class A. So let's look at the lower extreme. They should be here. The lower extreme would be at 37. And then the upper extremes, both class A and B are the same, would be at 89. So let's subtract 37 from 89. And that would equal to 52. So the range for class A is 52. And the range for class B would be 89 minus 41. And that would equal to 48. Now, before we calculate this, we should have looked at the Box-and-Whiskers. Knowing that both class A and B have the same upper range, the upper extremes, then we know that class B has a smaller range because the lower extremes is basically the Box-and-Whisker. The whiskers are shorter. But for class A, it is longer. So class A has a bigger range. Class B would have a smaller range. And when we calculate it using the values, it shows us the same fact. Class A has a greater range than class B. And how much greater? It is greater by 4 push-ups. So this one is greater. Okay, so let's look at the next question. It says, in which class do the push-ups counts cluster more closely around the median? So looking at the two Box-and-Whiskers, here is the median for class A, and this is the median for class B. Now, if the data in the middle of the sets are close or clustered together, then that means the interquartile range is small, making the box being smaller. But if there are gaps, that means the data in the middle of the sets are more spread out. So if you compare the two Box-and-Whiskers, class A has a box that is smaller. So, these two are closer to the median versus for class B, even though the lower quartile is close to the median, however, it is very spread out to the compared to the upper quartiles. So out of the two classes, if I have to determine, class A would have the push-up counts cluster more closely around the median. That indicates that a lot of them are doing this close to the same amount of push-ups.